Joining us now to discuss the power play arising from jostling for the People's Democratic Party's presidential ticket as the party holds its National Executive Council, Board of Trustees and caucus meetings is the former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the party, Diran Odeyemi. Thanks so much for joining us on Newsday. Well, from that report, it's very clear that there's a lot of anxiety within the PDP over where to zone the presidential ticket to. What more can you tell us about that?
I can tell you that PDP is an organized political party. And we have our strategies too. We are listening to Nigerians. We want to know their requirements for the kind of president they want, which we have in abundance in PDP. And as a political party that has been out of governance for quite many years, we have our strategy, just like I said, and this will guide us in choosing a candidate that Nigerians will vote for. So as it is normal for all the candidates to convert for zoning so that, they can have the slot, they can fly the flag of the party. But as a political party, we have our own strategy and people are talking among themselves.
All right. Well, personally, Mr. Odeyemi, we heard the comments from former Vice President Atiku Abubakar about the fact that two Southern presidents have been emerged from the party and it's the North's time. What is your opinion on his comments?
No, his comments are fair and they are logical. But the problem is in politics, it is not mathematics where 2 + 2 = 4. Much as he is trying to justify why the presidential slot should go to the North. If strategically zoning it to the North will make us to lose that opportunity again, then the elders and the leaders of the party will look towards the South. And that is the area where PDP is extremely too lucky. We can choose from either the North or from the South. It's now left for us to see where exactly we are going to win this election without much problem. So we can pick. It's only the APC that is having the problem of choosing from the South. They don't have any justification to say yes, they want to pick another candidate from the North. But in PDP, we are lucky. We can choose from the North, we can choose from the South. But we are listening to Nigerians and we are strategizing on how best to go about it so as not to miss this opportunity in 2023.
Well, thank you for that. And I was just wondering, after several, I don't want to say several, but after postponements, 3 major meetings happened today and might still be happening as we speak. I'm wondering if you could bring us up to speed on those meetings which have concluded and probably give us a situation report regarding those that are still taking place at this time.
Political meetings will continue, to hold. People will continue to talk among themselves, and that is why in politics, 24 hours is a long time. At any point in time, the party will just take a decision, and that will be it. And as a party, as people who believe in the policy of the party, they will abide by whatever is the final decision on the zoning. As regards the meeting we hold today, it can hold tomorrow, it will continue to hold. So that is the ingredient of politics until a decision is taken.
Can we talk about the face-off between Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State and Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State? Now, Governor Godwin Obaseki believes that Governor Wike is trying to bully others within the party in order to realize his presidential ambition. Can you talk more about this? What's your take on that?
It's quite unfortunate that this is happening among governors. People we expect should be able to call themselves into a room and sort out or settle whatever is the misunderstanding among themselves. And I want to believe that the leadership of PDP are looking into it, and very soon, the whole thing will be, will stop. I can assure you of that.
Do you believe that with the wranglings, the internal wranglings within PDP and versus the internal wranglings of APC, do you believe that PDP has a stronger chance for winning the presidential elections?
We don't have any internal wranglings. The example you just gave between Governor Wiki and Obasi, they are two different states, and I think the issues are personal. As far as we are concerned in PDP, we had our convention. We have a national executive in place, and meetings are held at when due. People are, canvassing for votes in Ekiti and Oyo State. So we don't have internal wranglings. You can't compare us to APC, who are still battling to have national officers. So as far as PDP is concerned, we are concentrating on how to win an election in Ekiti, in Osun, and other states, and the presidential in 2023. I don't believe we have internal crisis. What we have may be pockets of misunderstandings among whoever that wants to govern, but it's not even a big issue when you compare it to APC.
Well, I respect your opinion saying that you don't have any wranglings, but the national chairman of the PDP maintains that in spite of those hitches or wranglings, that your party remains on course with the timetable and guidelines for the 2023 elections. I'd just like to know if you share in that optimism, and I'm sure you do.
Yeah, what he is trying to tell you is that as far as we are concerned in PDP, we have a procedure through which misunderstandings and crises are settled. They are internal, and we believe that the party is supreme. The permanent interest that binds all of us together is the interest and for PDP to win election. So if the chairman is saying that, he knows what he's saying, because we have a very good procedure of settling crisis.
Well, still on the presidential ticket, some people, precisely Governor Nyesom Wike, believes Atiku Abubakar is taking the PDP for granted because he believes he will win the presidential ticket. So I would like to ask you, how are you going to choose your candidate? Will it be by consensus, or would people be allowed to vote?
The constitution of the party is very explicit on how a presidential candidate or any other candidate can emerge in the party. It can be through consensus, that is, if all of them agree that they should produce one of the candidates or one of the aspirants. And if that fails, then we will go for election. I'm sure you witnessed the way Atiku Abubakar emerged as presidential candidate in 2018. The process is very transparent, very fair, and the same thing will be repeated, because PDP does not have the record of having its candidate disqualified because of lack of due process. So due process will be followed, and it will be open and transparent. That's the assurance I can give you, because that is the ethics and what the constitution of the party says.
And speaking of due process and the election engineering process, especially in Oyo State, you touched on this a couple minutes back about the wranglings between the two gubernatorial candidates that have emerged in Oyo State. Can you talk to us more about this, whether or not this might become something that the courts might have to decide, and exactly how confident you feel with the judiciary proceeding over some of these sensitive political issues?
I can tell you conveniently that the party has endorsed and have approved the candidature of Senator Nuruddin Jackson Ademola Adeleke as the authentic candidate of the party. His name has been submitted to INEC as the candidate of the party. And of course, you don't expect other aspirants not to exhibit some, I won't call it grievances, but the kind of resistance, which is normal in politics. But the party has a procedure. After every election, there is reconciliation committee, and I'm sure they are talking to him right now. We believe that whatever is the issue among us, it should be settled at the party secretariat and not at the court, in the courtroom. So, and whatever is the action taken by the court, it is being challenged. Right now, it is being challenged. We have appealed all the injunction from the court, and as far as we are concerned, the party has moved on from that stage.
Well, former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of PDP, Mr. Diran Odeyemi, thank you so much for joining us.